Hello there and welcome. I'm Deepak Chaudhary. I'm a personal transformation coach and a keynote speaker. I'm on a mission to enable and empower individuals just like you to transition from a life of adjustments to a life of achievements. Now, let me quickly set the context for this video. What you are about to watch is a portion of one of my masterclasses called DGS, which stands for Decoding Goal Setting. In this masterclass, I share with my audience the 11-step goal setting secret of millionaires and billionaires. And what you are about to watch is step one of this 11-step goal setting secret of millionaires and billionaires. So go ahead, enjoy the video, take as much notes as possible, learn from it maximum, and I'll see you at the end of this video. The question that Hello, guys. Welcome to step number one of our 11-step goal setting strategy for millionaires and billionaires. Let's dive into step one, which is a very simple one. And that is, if you want to achieve your goals, you must write your goals down. You must be wondering, coach, that's wonderful advice. We didn't know about it. No, you didn't, probably you knew about it. But most of the time, when I ask people, have you clearly defined written goals in your life? Most of the time, the response is no, we have never written our goals. We know what I wanted from life, but we never have written our goals down. And in this video, I'm going to give you enough evidence, enough case studies to help you understand why writing your goals down is so important. Why is it the first step in our 11-step goal setting journey? Okay, so let's dive in. Reason number Let's dive in. Reason number one is writing your goals down improves your chances of making more money, earning more money. There was a study conducted by HBS, Harvard Business School, reputedly the number one business school in the universe, right? Or in the world, right? So they did a longitudinal study. A longitudinal study is a study that lasts over a decade and more, right? So what these people did, they wanted to understand if there is any correlation, if there is any relationship between writing your goals down and having goals in life and your earning. And if there is a relationship, what kind of relationship exists, right? And the findings of the study are pretty important. So that's what I'm going to share with you, okay? The study found that 84% of the population, student population, they didn't have any clearly defined goals. They didn't have goals at all. 84% of the student population, they didn't have any goals. 13% had goals in mind in terms of clarity, what kind of job they wanted, what kind of house they wanted, what kind of income they wanted, what kind of spouse they wanted, etc., right? So they had clarity in mind around the goals of life, but they have never written them down. Okay, so that's 13%. The last 3% were people who had clearly defined written goals. Now, these student populations were studied over a period of time, that's why I said it's a longitudinal study. And what the study found is that the 13% who had clarity of goals, but they have never written their goals down, they had never written their goals down, were earning twice as compared to the 84% who didn't have any written goals. Now tell me, you don't want to make twice as much money as your friends and colleagues. It's interesting, isn't it? But more interesting, or more shocking rather, was the fact that the 3% with clearly defined written goals were making 10 times the earnings as compared to the other 90%, 97% combined. Let me repeat that for you. The 3% of the student population who had clearly defined and written goals were earning 10 times more than the 97% combined. Students who didn't have goals and students who had goals and not had written them. Now you tell me you do not want to make or increase your earnings by 10 times. So what is the first thing that you have to do? What is the learning? The lesson is, if you have a goal, take it out of your mind, put it on paper, right? So that's the first step. Write your goals down. And I hope this case study that I have just shared gives you enough evidence, enough proof, and inspires you, influences you to go ahead and start writing your goals right now. Pause this video, start writing your goals. Okay. The second thing. Goals. Okay. The second thing you must be, or a relevant thing that must be coming in your mind or might be coming in your mind is, coach, we understand and probably will start writing our goals right now. But uh, should I use my hands and start typing my goals into my device, or should I use a pen and paper and write my goals down? Well, interesting question, and there has been studies around it. A study done by Dr. Gail Matthews. I think she was at Columbia University at that point of time. Gail Matthews, she wanted to find out if there is any relationship between the probability of achieving the goals and whether we are using a device to capture the goals or handwriting, right? What she found out is an interesting finding again and very valuable lesson for you. So go ahead and pay attention. The finding from the study said that while we are using typing to write something, there are approximately 8 to 10 different muscle movements, 8 to 10 different muscle movements of your fingers, and as many numbers or proportional numbers of neural pathways and neurons get involved. So once again, when you are typing things into your computer, into your devices, there are 8 to 10 different muscle movements involved, and proportional amounts of neurons and neural pathways are engaged. But when you start using your fingers to write your goals down using a pen on a paper, there are approximately 10,000 different muscle movements involved and proportional amounts of neurons and neural pathways in your brain. So you tell me which is going to help you achieve your goals more. So as per this study by Dr. Gail Matthews, when you use your fingers and pen and paper to write your goals down manually, the probability of you achieving your goals improves by 42%. Tell me that you don't want it. So the lesson number two, you have to write your goals down now, and you start writing your goals down using hand, pen, paper, manual, no digital devices. Okay. Okay. Now you must be thinking, coach, makes sense. We are all fired, we are all excited, and we are enthused to go ahead and start writing your goals down using pen, paper, etc. But is there any guideline, a framework on how to write your goals, how to write my goals, right? The answer is yes, there is a framework that has been proven very effective in capturing your goals in a precise and impactful manner. Okay. The framework is called the SMART framework. Pretty widely known. I can guess that you might have heard about it already. So I'll quickly run through it. Okay. SMART framework, it's an acronym. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. These are the 5 characteristics you must capture of your goals in detail. First two, specific, measurable. How do you make a goal specific and measurable? Let's say your goal is, coach, I want to become rich. Coach, I want to become famous. Coach, I want to become XYZ. Okay. When let's pick up one, let's say I want to be rich. That's not a goal. How do you make that goal specific and measurable? By adding a number. So instead of saying I want to be rich, coach, you say I want to have $1 million in my HDFC account, or I want to have $1 million or $500,000 or $100,000 in my Citibank account. That's specific, that's measurable. So whenever you are writing your goals, add a number to make it specific and measurable. Okay. Now, the second set of attributes is achievable and realistic. For example, let's say your height is 6 feet and 6 inches, 6.5 feet, and you are currently 300 kilograms. Okay. And you set a goal that you want to reduce 150 kgs and in the next let's say over some time, right? So is that an achievable goal? Yes, it is achievable. A 6.5 feet guy weighing 300 kgs today, over a period of time, can reduce 150 kgs. It's a realistic goal. It's an achievable goal. But the moment you say that, coach, I want to reduce 150 kgs over the next 2 months, it's not realistic and it's not achievable. Are getting the sense of what I'm saying? So while writing your goals down, keep in mind these two characteristics. Your goals must be achievable and realistic. Let's say you are setting a financial goal that, coach, I want to achieve $1 billion in my account, HDFC account or SD Bank account or a Swiss Bank account. Doesn't matter, right? I want to have $1 billion. Now, if you want to write that goal, then you writing that I want to have $1 billion in my account by the end of 31st of December 2030, it's achievable, it's realistic. Doesn't matter who you are. But if you have started just now and today, and you say that, coach, I want to have $1 billion in my account by the end of 31st of December 2020, which is like 2 months from now, it's not achievable. It's not realistic. I hope you're getting hang of the concepts, right? So first two is specific, measurable, add a number while writing your goals down. Take care of the other two, which is achievable and realistic. And the last thing is T, smart. Last is T, time bound. Every time you write a goal, add a timeline. Let's go back to our goal number one. I want to become rich. We have transformed that goal into specific and measurable, saying that I will have $1 million in my HDFC account or Citibank account by 31st of December 2030, 31st of December 2021, 31st of December 2022, right? Add a timeline. So I hope you got a sense of the 5-step framework: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. When you write your goals in this format, your probability of achieving them becomes multifold or increases multifold, right? So use the SMART framework to write your goals down. If you have any queries, go to the comment section of this video and ask me your queries, fire your questions, and I'll come back and answer them as much as I possibly can. Okay. So that's what you should do. And we're still discussing step number one of writing your goals. The last thing that I wanted to share with you, because it's so vital, so important, is the neurobiology behind writing your goals down. Neurobiology behind writing your goals down, right? So let's understand this. Let's imagine an imaginary scenario, or some experiential scenario where you have actually gone through something, right? Let's say the experience we are discussing is you sitting on a crowded platform, train platform, or a bus stop or bus stand, or let's say you sitting at the airport, fully crowded. You are surrounded by people, lot of noises happening in the airport, announcements happening, children playing, children crying, people talking over phone, people talking to each other, and all kinds of lift doors closing and escalator moving, all kinds of noises happening around you, and you are deep into reading your book. Got it? So that's the scenario we're analyzing. You are deep into your book, ignoring all the noises that's happening around you. Now you have to understand that in this scenario, if I know you and I call out your name, hey Deepak, what are you doing here? You suddenly take your eyes off and look at the person calling your name. That's natural, right? But let's understand what's happening here. There is a system that your brain deploys. There's a system that your brain deploys to filter out information. That filtering mechanism decides what information will be filtered out and what information will be allowed in to your attention, to your focus, right? Now, why do you have a system like that? The system is important for our survival. But before we go into the details of the system, let me give you another example. Imagine that you went to a BMW showroom. You want to buy a BMW X1. Okay. Why X1? Let's say X7. Let's say you are buying a BMW X7. You went into the showroom, you paid the advance, you did your booking, and you got the brochure and the color of the car that you wanted to buy, everything, and you went home. The waiting period is 2 to 3 months or 6 months, right? And until you get your car, right? Everybody of the family members, they have seen the brochure, they have seen the car of the car with the proper color and everything. Now, every time you go out to drive, every time you are on your routine journey to your office, you will start seeing a lot of BMW X7s. And I'm sure you have experienced something similar. Or let's say you are a pregnant woman right now. The moment you are pregnant and you have a baby bump, you will start noticing a lot of pregnant women around you. Why does this happen? Let me explain that. This filtering mechanism that I said, this filtering mechanism decides or is given instruction about what is important to you and should be filtered and allowed to your attention, should not be filtered and allowed to your attention. And it has instructions about what should be filtered always. Now, this filtering mechanism is something that is at the base of our head here, base of our neck here, and that's called RAS, the reticular activating system. Now, what it does is all the information, we process the entire world around us using our five senses. The only sense that goes directly to the processing center of the brain, bypassing the RAS, is the sense of smell. The rest of the four senses, all the information has to go through RAS, that filtering mechanism which decides what are the information we can ignore. When I say ignore, it's not actually ignored, it's processed by your subconscious mind. And whatever is important, that is brought to your attention, or it's processed by your conscious mind, a conscious brain. Why there is this disparity? Because the processing ability of our conscious mind and the subconscious mind, they're hugely different. The subconscious brain, our subconscious brain, your subconscious brain can process only 2000 bits of information per second. 2000 bits of information per second. But your subconscious brain, my subconscious brain, can process around 400 million bits of information per second. So nothing is actually ignored. We perceive the world in a conscious and a subconscious way, right? So once again, the processing power of your subconscious brain is 400 million bits of information per second, right? That is why there is a filtering mechanism to ensure that a lot of the information we perceive from the world around us is processed subconsciously, but whatever is important to us, that's brought to our attention. That gets the focus, right? And how did you mention? By going into the showroom, BMW showroom, by paying the advance, you instructed your RAS, your reticular activating system, that this is important to me. This is my future car. Now, once it knows that something is important to you, it'll start allowing that to your focus. So those BMW X7s that you started noticing now all over the road, they existed before, but they were being filtered out by your RS. Now, since the RS knows it's important to you, you start seeing them. The same advertisements, the same posters, same hoardings, the same cars. Everywhere you see BMW X7s. Or if you're a pregnant woman, the pregnancy ads, the pregnant woman, and the hoardings, everything around pregnancy is brought to your attention. You suddenly feel like the entire universe is conspiring to give you something that you wanted. It's not actually the universe, it's actually your RAS. So the secret takeaway or the important takeaway from this all this blabbering is that when you write your goals down, your RS knows this is important for you. So the moment you write your goals down, or the moment you start practicing, coming and reading your goals again and again, it knows it's important. And the moment your RS knows, reticular activating system knows that it's important, suddenly you will start seeing all the people who are important enough to play some kind of role in helping you achieve your goals. All those books, all those podcasts, all those movies, all those people, all those connections, all those courses, everything will start flooding into your attention, your focus, because these information, these courses, these people, this podcast, this YouTube videos, everything existed before. But the moment you write your goals down, the RS allows them to your attention. And you suddenly feel like the entire universe is conspiring to help you achieve your goals. That's your RAS, reticular activating system. That's the neurobiology behind writing your goals down. The moment you write, you will see a lot of information, lot of relevant things that can help you achieve your goal. But until and unless you have written your goal down, you'll not be able to see them, because your RS will keep filtering them because it doesn't know whether it's important to you or not, right? So go ahead and start writing your goals down. And that's about the first step in the 11-step framework of setting and achieving goals, 11-step framework of setting and achieving goals of any type, size, and complexity. I hope I have made my case solid enough, and you'll start writing your goals down right now. Do not go to the next video. Do not start your next video unless you have written at least 50 of your goals. Go to the comment section. If you want to share, share. If you do not want to share in the comment section to the public, go to info@deepakchaudhary.com or deepak.chaudhary@gmail.com. Both the email IDs are flashing on your screen. Go and share your goals. I'll review them. I'll give additional feedbacks, or I'll help you write them properly so that you can go ahead and achieve these goals. Okay. So that's the end of step number 1. I'll see you in the next video. We will discuss the step number 2 in our 11-step strategy goal setting framework of millionaires and billionaires. Till then, take care. Bye-bye. You're still here. Welcome back. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed step 1 of the 11-step goal setting secret of millionaires and billionaires. Now, if you're ready to learn, practice, and master the remaining 10 steps of this 11-step goal setting secret of millionaires and billionaires, then go ahead and click on the link below and join us in DYD Digital. Design your Destiny Digital, a bundle of 18 super short, super consumable, and highly impactful courses just like DGS. Now, these 18 courses will provide you with all the concepts, tools and techniques, strategies and tactics, and formulas and frameworks you will ever need in designing your destiny. It'll be an honor and an absolute privilege to have you inside the YT. And I would personally love to watch you break free from the shackles of negative habits and limiting beliefs and go ahead and create a life of your dreams. And in the process, become a role model and an inspiration to people around you. So go ahead, click on the link below, and I'll see you inside.